Hey, we are filing for copyright registrations together today. Are you excited yet? I'm excited, and I'm going to show you one of the trainings that I did on how to actually file your copyright applications to get registrations, which unlock additional rights that you wouldn't have without filing. So we're going to do this through the Copyright Office, right? The actual government. It's the only place you can get a copyright registration. Let me be clear about that. There are websites where they're like, hey, upload your stuff to our platform and we'll give you a registration. That's not how it works. You got to do it through copyright.gov. So this will be a great resource for you to have and to come back to whenever you need to register your copyrights. But this is also intended if you are a plaintiff in one of our class action lawsuits against Suno and Udio. You need to have your copyright registrations for your music that you allege was infringed, meaning your music that you have on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. So I'm going to show you how to do it. One last note. When we get to the limitation of claim section, it might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, just skip over it. But it applies if you've sampled in your music. So for example, if you use a splice samples, it also applies if you're using AI in the creation process, right? So again, your song, your video cannot be 100% AI created. But if a portion of your song is made with AI, you just have to disclaim it. So I show you how to do that if it applies to you. If you're excited, be sure to subscribe right now. Let's go. So you want to go to copyright.gov. If someone has a website and they're saying they're going to help you and register your copyright, and it's not this website, beware. Okay, so you scroll down right here, it's register your works. And then you want to use this right here, log into our ECO registration system. And then you'll put in your secret sauce credentials or just set up an account. So here on the left side, it shows the different types of applications that you can file. Just to try to simplify this, if you do a group of unpublished works, you can do up to 10 if you have not actually released your creative thing. But there is a cap at 10, okay? And then the filing fee is going to be, I think it's $65 as of now, and then $85 if it's unpublished. So, strategically you might save a little bit of money waiting until your work or works are published, meaning released. Most of the time we are doing either a standard application. You technically can do like an album. So you do a bunch of filings if it's the same collection of works, if that makes sense. Or they actually have an application for that, which is register a certain group of unpublished works. So in this scenario, I'm just going to do a standard application. Through this process, we are going to provide all the needed information, pay the fee, and we need to give the Copyright Office an actual copy of our creative thing. All right, in the type of work. So in this little list, if you're registering a song, it's a sound recording. If it's written work, it's literary work. If it's a movie or a music video, you're going to do motion picture. So let's pretend we're doing a song. So we'll just select sound recording. Always read all the good stuff in detail and then click I accept. Yes, you may have my firstborn. Continue. All right, so I'm doing this. I'm going to select new. And for this, I guess I'll just do one of my last songs I released. So this is the title of work being registered. So the song is Say to Me. I've already done my copyright filing, but let's do it again. So Say to Me, now we're going to save, continue. Has this work been published? So at this point, let's pretend I had just published the song. So we'll say, yes, it was published. So the year of completion, first date of publication. I'm pretty manic about this stuff. Like I'll go and register my stuff the day my music comes out. I don't want to forget because there's so many steps when you release your music, from the promotion to registering with the PRO and Sound Exchange and Song Trust. And so I have like an administrative checklist that I'm gonna go through, and I just want to hit it ASAP. So let's pretend today was the day. United States for the nation of first publication. Okay, continue. Okay, the next two sections, we have authors and claimants. Sometimes these are different people or companies. Oftentimes they're going to be, especially for like independent songwriters, it's going to be the same person or persons. So meaning, you can have an author. Let's say if you are Jane and you work for a music business. Okay, so Jane was the author. She's the one who actually created the thing, but then is transferring the ownership to the entertainment company. I don't want to overcomplicate this, so I'm just going to pretend we're doing this as it was just me on Say to Me. Actually, I'm a thirdsies with that Orco and then my prior guitar player. But anyway, just for pretend today. So let me give you a pro tip on this. I'm adding just me as Crystal Delgado, but if I was registering this, let's say under my record label, it would be Dukes Up Records. Really, 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 really important. If you register something as a company, your LLC, your corporation, it's really important that you say that this is a work made for hire. The Copyright Office will just refuse. I don't even think they will let you go on to the next page unless you select yes on this. And even if it does let you, it will create problems for you later on. So click work made for hire. But that's not what we're doing here. Citizenship and domicile. Save. So we're going to select sound recording. Let me just give you a little pro tip here. If you go, well, what about my lyrics? What about the composition, right? That's embodied in the sound recording, which is like, as Chance the Rapper likes to put it, the idea of the song, right? Your chords and, your lyrics and stuff. Those elements are contained within the final recording. So meaning if someone comes and steals your lyrics, when you have the registration for the song, we can still take that piece of paper to go and sue someone and saying, you stole the lyrics, because the lyrics, the composition, the instrumental, everything is contained in that sound recording. So we're saying, I'm going to claim the entire thing. Okay, so it added me as the sole author. Continue. All right, so now the claimants. This is, in fact, going to be the same, but it may be different. This is just subject to whatever agreement you have. If there was anyone else involved, I'll plug in my address and such and move on to the next thing. All right, so we'll have Pretend Streets, which is located in the city of Moon in Arizona. All right, so the added benefit of you going through this is that you're learning literally how to file your own copyright applications through the Copyright Office. Yay. But I'm showing you the nuances of how to do this if you are disclaiming AI. So we're at the applicable page, which is limitation of claim. So this is one example. So we go here, the instructions are, if you need to exclude, for example, pre-existing material from your creative thing, or identify something new that is being registered. So remember I said as far as like cover songs, you would say, well, the sound recording, right, the new version that I created is my own. However, here, maybe the lyrics and composition is not yours. So you would disclaim it for that reason. Now, in this case, we are doing something that includes AI. So for example, we go, well, the material that we are excluding and saying we don't own it. So AKA, this is the stuff that was made with AI. Here we would say, well, we had AI lyrics and melody. But what is new, what is being registered is the actual sound recording. Now, if you were just doing this for your song in general and it's 100% human made, you wouldn't need to add anything into this limitation of claim. It's very specific to these situations that I'm speaking to right now. So then conversely, let's say you made your song entirely, right? Or almost entirely, made your entire instrumental bed using AI. So then you would go in what's excluded, you go, the AI thing is, let's say, well, no, and that's, I guess if it's the instrumental, you could say the AI instrumental, and you could go, what is new here would be the lyrics, melody, performance, right? So you just kind of write out all the things that are new on top of your AI instrumental. But in this example, what we're going to be doing is just saying we used AI to help us with the lyrics and melody, but we own the entire song. So that's where we're going to put. All right, this is also an optional page, right? So it gets a little easier with filing these applications if you are 100% owner of your human-made creative thing. But for the rights and permissions, this is what is going to be listed publicly. If you think someone may ever want to get into touch with you in regards to licensing your creative work, right, purchasing your creative work from you, this is what's going to be publicly listed. I always put my contact information on this. I should say my company's contact information. We'll pretend for this I don't care, so I'm not going to put anything in for now, but otherwise, I don't know. I normally do and would recommend you do it as well. All right, correspondent. Who does the Copyright Office need to speak with if there is a problem? Guys, if you put in the wrong email address and the Copyright Office emails you and you don't respond to the email because you had a typo in your address, that is literally your fault pursuant to the compendium of the Copyright Office, meaning the rules book. They go, even if it really was like an innocent mistake, if you don't get our email and you don't respond timely, then we're going to close your case, you lose your fee. And I've had this happen where someone did not know that the Copyright Office was trying to get into contact with them. They had had a typo in the address, unfortunately, and it was a huge deal. Please review what you're putting in these boxes very, very carefully. Okay, so I'm just going to plug in this information. We have Pretend Street, right? And I put in all these little stars. If you guys ever need to actually get in contact with me because you need legal help, it'll take about 2 seconds to find my email. So feel free to reach out to me directly anytime. All right, where do you want us to mail the certificate to? So put in the address for that. Do you have any special handling instructions? We had a situation where the client has a copyright infringement issue and didn't have the registrations, and we need the certificates before we can file the lawsuit, so we're expediting all of his copyright registrations. There is a very, very hefty fee. If I remember correctly, it's like $800 to do this on an expedited basis. So again, all the more reason to just file as you are releasing your creative stuff, all right? We don't have any special handling instructions. This is where you would put the expedite request. And then you certify this is the truth and nothing but the truth. And then you're going to review your submission. So it'll give you a nice summary capturing everything. You look at it, you approve it, you then submit, pay your fee, and then you go to a final page where you actually give a copy of your creative thing to the Copyright Office. Because guys, remember, the Copyright Office is a glorified file keeping system. So meaning if you ever have to actually sue, they need to know what was the state of your book, what was the state of your song, and you use that in court as evidence of your ownership. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. I'm Top Music Attorney.